Welcome to topic number 4 on creating value for customers. And we are saying value is the customer's assessment of the trade-off between the advantages of a good or service and the cost incurred to obtain those advantages. So even as we continue with the customer care discussions, it is important to ask, and how do we create value for customers? Because once a customer buys an item, they need to feel that this item has been able to be of value to them. In other words, the amount that they have paid for an item is equivalent to the satisfaction that they have derived from that item. So the advantages of a good or service and the cost incurred. So value is equals to benefits divided by the sacrifices that a customer has been able to make. And we are saying the equation demonstrates that there are two basic ways to raise customers' perceived value. And number one is by increasing the benefits they receive, and number two is by reducing the sacrifices they make. Customer sacrifices, we are saying the discrepancy between what you give and what your customers actually want is known as customer sacrifice. A gap of 0 indicates that you have totally met their needs, leaving them perfectly content or perfectly satisfied. So it is important to ensure the sacrifices that consumers make. Some consumers make sacrifices to even travel long distances to acquire an item. Others make sacrifices in terms of cash, and we need to make sure that all these sacrifices are well taken care of. The other one is customers make several types of sacrifices. Number one is money. It is crucial to know how much a customer is willing to spend. It can mark a turning point in the customer's purchasing decision. So any additional expenses like credit card fees or warrant costs are obviously undesirable, whereas any discounts are extremely desirable. Then number two is search fees. When a buyer needs to do research and look around for alternatives, the purchasing process can be time consuming. A small business would greatly benefit from streamlining and speeding up this step process. So customers incur cost. Internet cost, for example, are examples of such fees. So they are looking for what we said in our buying decision process. They are finding information or searching information. So at the end of the day, they need to feel the value once they have invested their internet, their time in searching of new products. The other one is the personal expenses. In addition to being somewhat monotonous or unpleasant, the purchasing process can also be done around or before the holidays. One of your goals should be minimize anything that could make the customer feel bad during those situations and holidays, or during the process of searching for information. And number 4 is the costs of the psychic, or what we call psychic costs. We are saying buying can be extremely upsetting and a stressful affair. For example, now it's festive seasons. People are getting stressed on where they are going to get their clothes, their items. So for instance, shopping for the holidays during Christmas and other holiday entail attempting to think of present ideas for family members. Then sources of customer value. Number 1 is additional attributes and capabilities. For instance, to add value, smartphone makers incorporate high resolution cameras. So one way of giving customer value is what attributes is the product bringing to their lives. So somebody is looking for a mobile phone, for instance. You can give them an extra feature of the cameras. If you look at, for example, mobile phones like Oppo, their key consideration is about the resolution, the cameras. Another way of ensuring customer value is quality. customers like high quality goods over those of lower quality because, for instance, they are more resilient. So what quality are you providing to your customers? It's very, very important. The other one is the design. When purchasing furniture or wooden furniture, consumers take into account design elements in addition to, for instance, the type of wood used. The other one is convenience. As with fast food restaurants, a corporation might use its products to save customers time. And because of convenience now, we are now having what we call e-commerce platforms like Jumia, platforms like Alibaba, where you can order a good at the comfort of your house, and you are able to receive that particular good. And then when we also have use simplicity. For instance, users prefer user-friendly softwares that which requires them to create programs in order to carry out commands. The other one is customer support. For instance, businesses offer product installation services or delivery services to consumer homes. So that one is very important to understand customer support. And finally is businesses also offer customer value through branding. That means to build a strong brand equity. It is about influencing how consumers perceive the products. So regular marketing, regular advertising of the product, adopting promotional strategies is key into ensuring success of the product. Benefits of creating customer value. So once we do the things that we have discussed here, additional attributes, quality, design, how does that trickle down into benefits? Number one, so we are able to promote client loyalty. And I did mention that loyalty is about doing repeat purchases. So clients are able to go and come back into your business. The other one is increasing client loyalty. That is a repetition. I'll be able to undo it on our notes. Then long-term costs, saving customers who are devoted to a brand goods will keep purchasing from it. Yeah, so you by giving customer value, we are simply saying you are able to build a long-term relationship with these customers. You are able to connect with them, and then also you are able to grow the market share. Market share is the percentage that you hold in the market in terms of how big is your company. So that's very, very important. Then making distinctions. A company can distinguish itself from its rivals by offering high customer value or high value. It does more than simply making customers eager to pay. And also the fifth one and the last one is promoting client loyalty. Okay, so I will be able to redo those benefits. You can check them in your notes, and you will be able to get more points on that. Challenges companies face in creating customer value. The first one is recognizing client expectations. Understanding varied dynamic client expectations is the first and perhaps the major obstacle. Like we said, of course, customers have different tastes and preferences. They have different consumer behavior, so you may not be able to satisfy all of them or understand their expectations. That's why we emphasize on the need to do research, find out information about these clients. Another challenge is contacting customers. Companies have to do face-to-face campaigns in addition to print media, radios, television, phones, email, and social media. However, conveying the message is the main obstacle. So how do you craft the message? Sometimes we will craft these messages in the need to create customer value, but they are not really convincing. They have not been able to reach these customers. And another challenge is outperforming client expectations. In enterprises, meeting client expectations is not sufficient. Companies must therefore continually remain one step ahead. So this challenge is all about how do you remain better than your competitors. It's an important question to ask yourself in this particular challenge. And then finally is creating a customer first culture. Retaining employees is another crucial element in success. Employee turnover is what we call the movement of employees, is bad for customers as well as for the internal workings of the company. So we need to seek to have clients continue to remain, and also employees continue to remain within the organization, because every time an employee leaves, you take few steps backwards, and that affects the business. So we shall be meeting in the next chapter. I invite you to look at these particular discussions on the benefits. The notes that you will receive will have some changes. So on the benefits of customer value or giving customer value, you can recheck on the note.